What's up, guys and gals of the internet? Thanks for tuning in once again to The Juice. And here we're going to talk about, are we in the middle of a Japanese renaissance? Now, the question is a weird one. Why I'm asking this question? We have a lot of Japanese games that have come out recently. We have the Persona 5, we have the Neo, we have the Resident Evil, which is a Western, but it was made by a Japanese developer, and all these other type of games that have come out. Very Japanese.
Yes.
Nier's a great one to acknowledge as well. Now, the question is, are we in the middle of this Japanese renaissance? Because I feel like before now, we haven't actually had these amount of revered, I guess you could say, Japanese titles as we did in the past, as we do now. So I'm going to open the floor to discussion for you guys, and I'm going to play some Neo while we talk about it.
So, definitely. So, like, earlier in a couple other videos, I was mentioning the idea of the year of comebacks. You know, with Resident Evil 7 getting critical acclaim, being... which I never thought was going to happen after the atrocity that was Resident Evil 6. Persona 5 coming to the West. Final Fantasy 15. That was last year, but still a fairly recent game. Final Fantasy 15 doing as well as it did. Neo, Nier Automata. You know, like, we've had multiple Japanese developed games not only come to the West, but do well. Both critically and sales-wise. They're doing well for being moved over to the West. And I think a lot of it also has to do with the Switch. We're seeing just an onslaught of Japanese games coming. We're getting a Shin.
Do you think it has a lot to do with the Switch? That was my question.
Yes, just because the fact that Nintendo is able to be back in a place of not dominance but prevalence. It
everyone hates them.
It automatically makes Japanese developers care more about what's going into the West. I wouldn't even say a couple years ago. I'd say the majority of 2015 to the early 2016. Really, the only thing the Japanese gaming industry had was mobile games. There was a moment when like no one was checking for Japanese developed games as much as they were. I'd say before this period right now, probably the peak of Western interest in the Japanese gaming industry was probably Final Fantasy 13. If we're looking at just something that sold well and was actually
everybody
like
was keeping an eye out.
It was a big contender. It's one of the highest selling games that year, I believe. Other than like Call of Duty and stuff.
Nope, don't want to go fight that guy.
So yeah, just for me personally, I love it. I love the fact that we're getting at a time where not only fans of Japanese games are being able to flourish in all these new titles, but also people can try them out. Like Persona 5, for instance, is a game I know for a fact a lot of people that bought that game had not played Persona before, and I
didn't play Persona 4. I didn't even know what Persona was until Persona 5, really. I'd heard about it, but I didn't really care.
Yeah, but I like the fact...
It was a Vita game.
I like the fact that people are actually flocking towards this game, and it's selling well. I would hate to see this renaissance of Japanese games to come and then no one buys them. But that's not happening. It's actually doing well. I believe it sold like 1.2 million first week in the West, which is fantastic.
I think that's kind of the main thing here, is that it's not only that they're coming out, it's that they're doing so well. It's like there's tons of people who are tooting the horn of Nier that are saying it's fantastic, and people that do play it say it is, but not a whole lot of people have played it. But everyone that does loves it. Neo's a great example. A lot of people like it. Persona 5, everybody loves it. I love it. You love it.
Yeah.
I think there was a ladder over there.
Was there a ladder? I didn't see a ladder.
Back up on top of the roof.
But yeah, the thing is, I really like Japanese type stuff, or I guess you could say Asian stuff in general. Like, I like anime, oh, there's a person. I like anime, I like Japanese culture, samurais, all that type of stuff. I like some good sushi, a good bowl of ramen every now and then. But so I'm happy with what's coming out, and it's not. I've never been one of those people. It's kind of like, it's kind of the weird Japanese stuff I don't really like and I don't like. I've always enjoyed it. I like the culture. I like everything about it. So.
Yeah, and that's another thing. that's a good point because I know a lot of people. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that see a lot of these Japanese games coming out and being all over the press on IGN, GameSpot, etc.
Yeah.
And they're thinking like, I'm not into this. I think that's a great thing of this year in gaming in general. There's been great variety.
Mm-hmm.
We're right now just talking about that sect of the industry right now, which is the Neos and Niers, the Personas, the Resident Evils. But in reality, there really has been something for everybody this year, and I think that's going to be the theme of what we're going to be talking about later this year and into E3, is that there's just an onslaught of games in different genres, different styles, different vibes. Like
That's what I look for.
And I really think that this year is monstrous for gaming in terms of there's something for everybody.
What are your opinions on all this, Clark?
Well, to me, like, of course, I never played a lot of Japanese games, but the Japanese game I have played are great games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, going back, I mean, they're known for some of the greatest franchise in video game history with Final Fantasy, Resident Evil, Silent Hill. So, obviously, they haven't been putting out terrible stuff all this time, and it's just now getting good. They've been putting out great games since Mario, since So, it's not that their credibility is just totally just coming back. I mean, of course, they did fall off. Nintendo did for a while. And, of course, we don't see Sega and we don't see Capcom as much anymore, too. And those were huge companies. And, so it's hard to say, like, we're in a Japanese renaissance. And it's, I guess it does. I think with the Switch, it means a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because... I mean, you got a brand new console, one of the highest selling consoles ever.
Yeah.
So,
that
which
is pretty
Nintendo just keeps breaking their own records, so they're obviously doing a good job over there.
Yeah.
And so, and now, because you got games like Breath of the Wild, which is that?
Yes,
is that Western,
yes,
or is that?
It's Japanese. It's Japanese.
Japanese.
It's Japanese. It's westernized. But it still has a lot of the nice, cool Japanese.
It was developed
quirks.
by Japanese.
And they've been. I mean, of course, I haven't played it, but we've been hearing that it's probably one of the best games that came out in the past 20 years.
Yeah.
So, 2017, I guess it's rebirth for Japanese gaming and how well they've been done in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So
I like what Clark said about they've always been good, because that is true. I think the problem was how do you they were having a problem in translating what marketing needed to be done for certain titles in the West. That was a big problem.
That was my big thing. I don't Nintendo's marketing, I believe, is terrible.
Yeah.
It's not very good.
It's not great.
And I think that's
I think especially in Wii U, they were focusing on
Yes.
they were focusing on the wrong aspects of their market for consumers, because they played the casual card and treated every Wii U owner as a casual, or they decided to focus their quote unquote hardcore titles on the most pointless IPs that no one cares about. And the fact, here's the thing, the fact that I just remembered that a Fire Emblem game was on the Wii U, that's bad.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem should have been something they were pushing just as heavy as a Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
And they weren't. So, and I think now the fact, for instance, recently the Switch had a whole conference for Fire Emblem.
And I always forget about
shows,
the Nintendo handhelds, because Monster Hunter is one of the biggest, handheld games. I mean,
I think
Westernly, I mean, I know a few people who play it, but over there in Japan, they play that game religiously.
Yeah,
I think that's the big thing that there's been the disconnect, is that I feel like in Japan and those territories that handheld gaming is a lot more prevalent than it is here, per se. It's a lot more of a thing.
That's it.
And so we're getting a lot more console games based from Japanese developers that everybody's loving.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm happy about it, like I said before, because I love anime, manga, all that nonsense. You get like in freaking Neo, you fight a giant frog. You're fighting a giant frog. I have a Cosmo and Wanda pink and green wolf that runs around, turns into electricity. What are some other weird ones?
I'm pretty sure you fight just the Loch Ness monster later on. like on a
You
boat.
fight a big gloopy man.
Yeah.
I mean,
you fight the blob in the water.
We fought walls before.
You fight walls. That's the thing.
Actual
How many
walls.
games are you gonna walk up to a weird possessed wall and you do like a weird little like I don't know, sign language sign or whatever, and that starts freaking out and trying to attack you,
Throwing rocks at, just spam rocks at
just
you.
spamming rocks at you. And like you have like the weird trophy things from Persona 5 even, like like on.
Yeah.
And her her sexy panther outfit or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I mean,
Whatever,
there's tons.
Ryuji calls it at
If
the
you look
beginning.
at like Soul Calibur, like Ivy, like come on,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But I think that's what's awesome. I like the fact that there's a lot of things in Japanese games that just make you kind of look twice, like what? Just because.
They have
I
a
think
uniqueness about
Yeah,
them.
I think it's a style. I definitely think it's weird at times, and I think that might have to do with why a lot of people are hesitant to jump into these games. But I think the fact that so many are doing well at just the same time, I think that's really going to open the doors for new members of the audience in terms of like fans of JRPGs, like most notably Persona. Neo and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know I've said it before, but I also think it's funny in Persona 5 when because we're playing the English version.
Yeah.
So when they're talking about where you just like I can't speak English and he says it in perfect English. It's just funny. So yeah, because you almost forget at times. It's like, oh yeah, this is in Japan actually.
Or like when there's some lines that are just like this effing sucks.
Yeah, it's like well, why does he say it like that? So yeah, I think that's about all we have to cover on Japanese games that are coming to the West. I think we can all agree that we love them and we're happy that this is happening, and we hope it continues to happen. You know what I mean? I hope that we continue to have a great flourish of very Western games and Eastern games alike.
And it makes you wonder what Nintendo has under their belt in terms of like
Mario, that's it. That's all they have.
because I know they're working on possibly No More Heroes. Like they have some pretty big Japanese IPs that could possibly be coming back, or hopefully they have new ones. That's another thing. You just with Nintendo being kind of back.
I don't know where I'm at.
There's like a whole market again for
Where are you trying to get?
Japanese games.
Nowhere, just walking. So yeah, I think that's all we have to say on the topic right now. Any last words from either one of you guys? We do have a shout out real quick, so if you guys want to take care of that, y'all go ahead.
Oh yeah. So if you saw you're watching our video, you kind of see our new intro. So
looking nice.
we're very proud of what was the company that did it?
Swift GFX.
Swift GFX. They did a fantastic job. They replied almost immediately. Very satisfied with their work.
Yeah, they definitely.
They do great work.
Great work.
They definitely.
They work
hit what
with
we were
you.
wanting on that
Yeah.
hill.
They do Twitch overlays. They do intro and outros. If any type of creator should definitely check them out if they're wanting to. They don't want to break the bank, but they want something of quality like for their videos or for their content.
Most definitely.
They definitely worked with us in terms of what we wanted. Like they really helped conceptualize.
Yeah, they helped us. They gave us a new intro that came along with a nice little tune. We have they're getting us. Our banners are still coming in.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have that. We also have the nice little ending thing that we may even post. You can click on check out some of our older videos if you want.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see the difference. Yeah, you can see the difference. And yeah, we'll leave the link to their website in the description of this video, so you'll be able to
Most
check
definitely
them out.
check those guys out. Show them some love because we know we like those guys. They did us good. Give us some good things. But other than that, that's Logan, Clark, and Jared from The Juice, and we'll catch you later. Okay. See, games like these, trying to play them and talk at the same time is difficult because it requires a level of concentration to not just get
That's
wrecked.
why. See, I'm following a girl on Twitch named Deliquent Muse, and she casually plays like.
Unless you were just like godlike.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because she naturally plays like Dark Souls. She played Dark Souls 3 on New Game
Did you
Plus
pause
4.
both things? The audio and the gameplay?
She was playing the DLC New Game Plus 4 Dark Souls 3, just talking to the chat. She wasn't dying. Like,
That's
she was,
crazy
going
to me.
through.
Like, I'm playing this, and maybe it's because I played it in a while. Like, I'm having to think, because if not, I'm going to get wrecked.